I'm Therese Sequeira and I'm the parent educator at kidsFIRST Medical Centre. I wanted to talk to you today about praise and how we use praise effectively with our kids and with our teenagers. But before I do that, I want to talk to you about ourselves and how we like to feel valued. So let's put ourselves in our own family groups or in our work context. Most of us actually feel great when we are appreciated by our colleagues or by other people who are important to us in our family. And they do that by giving us feedback on things they like about us or things that we've done that were valuable to them. So then moving to our kids, how do we make our kids feel valued? Well, the quickest way to change behaviour is through praise and encouragement. So a lot of the time when parents are praising their children, they use words of affirmation. So that's all the good, great, well done, fantastic sort of language, which is terrific. What it doesn't do is it doesn't give direct feedback on specific behaviours that we want to see happen more frequently. So the way we do that is to use descriptive praise. Descriptive praise is as simple as its name. It's where we are describing behaviour that we like in our children, and we can do that based on what we see, the behaviours that we perceive, and certainly behaviours we hear our children showing with one another. So there's three ways we can do descriptive praise effectively. So the first one is just basically describing it. For example, if your child helps you do the washing up in the morning, you might, instead of saying thanks for helping or thank you, you might say thanks for helping me do the dishes this morning. Okay, so what message does that give to the kids? I really like what's happening here. Okay, I appreciate that you have participated in this task with me. So they're more likely to do that again. It can be other things like you've remembered to hang up your towel, because quite often a lot of us get a little bit fed up when towels are found on the floor in the bathrooms. Okay, it can be thanks for helping me carry in the groceries today. I saw you working with your sister on her homework task. Okay, it's as simple as that. And when we start using descriptive praise, quite often it feels like very wordy. It feels like we're using too many words. But over time, you become more succinct. Okay, so it could be, oh, you've cleaned up your room. Okay, that's a descriptive praise statement. It's just describing what's happening rather than walking in, noticing the room's tidy and just saying, okay, cool. And then moving on, which doesn't leave the child with any direct feedback. Okay, so I want you to crank up the descriptive praise. I want you to do a lot of it, as much as you can, just to get into the habit of it. The second kind of descriptive praise that we do is when we're praising effort. Praising effort is really important when we want our children to feel valued, when we want to acknowledge the effort kids are making for things that are hard for them. So homework is a great example. Quite often the hardest part of homework is starting. Okay, so your child might be doing their homework task and you could walk in and notice what they haven't done. Oh, you're not finished yet, which actually makes them feel bad. Okay, so instead we're going to say, I can see you've started. Okay, or how are you going at the moment? What have you read so far? Okay, I know this is hard for you. Acknowledging that and then moving into the effort praise statement. I know you're trying. Okay, so when kids start thinking, I can try, they're more likely to want to try. So praise effort. We can use that when they're learning new skills. You might be teaching your child how to do some basic self-care skills, such as washing their hair or brushing their teeth. And we don't want to get caught up in waiting for mastery of that skill. We actually want to praise the progression that they're making. So it could be, okay, let's say they're learning to brush their teeth and you go in and they're in the middle of it and they might be a bit struggling. It might not be as nice as you would like it done or as careful. Instead of focusing on that and saying, hey, you haven't done a good job yet, it could be, I can see you're trying. Okay, how about doing those back teeth up on the left? I'm not sure if you've done those yet, which is a different way of empowering them, increasing their independent skills, but letting them feel good about themselves at the same time so that they know that you notice they're trying. The other kind of praise that I'd like to talk to you about is describing your children's qualities. These make up who they are. These are the best parts of your children, and it's really important that we notice them and we share those qualities with our children. So let's go back to the homework example I talked about before. where I think I said, you're helping your sister with your homework. Okay, so instead of just saying that was nice of you to help her out, okay, which is a lovely descriptive praise statement, you could say it was really kind of you when you offered to show her something that you know. Okay, and so you're bringing out kindness in that. Kindness is a really lovely value to see in our children, and they show it a lot. Okay, some other values that we see are helpfulness, patience. Okay, being able to wait is really hard. So if your child is waiting to talk to you because you're on your phone, or you're in the middle of a task, or you're talking to another adult and they're patiently standing beside you, you can give them a non-verbal praise, which might be a handhold, a little squeeze, or you might put your arm around their shoulder, which gives them the message that I know you're there. I value you, and I appreciate that you're waiting. And of course, when you have the moment and you talk to them, you could say, thanks for waiting. I really appreciate that you could do that. Okay, or you were very kind, or you were very patient when you waited for me while I was talking to that adult. Okay, so what does that tell the child? I'm a patient person. Okay, I'm going to keep trying to be patient. So this is how we make our kids feel good. So what I'd really like you to do is to try and use more praise statements than you are now. It can feel uncomfortable at the beginning. It can feel like too many words, but over time you will become more succinct. Okay, it will become a habit, which is what we're aiming for. So quite often I ask parents to set themselves a target, like 3 praise statements before the kids go to school in the morning. That might, per child. So that might seem a little tricky, but I'd like you to try. The reason I give such a perhaps unrealistic target like that is because I want you thinking about it, and I'd like you to let this become a habit for you. So good luck with praise. You should see an improvement in desirable behaviours fairly quickly, a couple of days, even one day with younger children. And let's not forget, teenagers like to feel praised as well. Actually, I will add one more thing. Children who aren't used to being praised can get very uncomfortable when you start using a lot of descriptive praise. So you might want to build up to it gradually, or just ignore the eye rolls, just ignore the why are you being so nice to me, and perhaps tell them that I think you're fantastic instead, but just roll with it. Let it become a habit. You'll start feeling better about yourself as a parent also. Good luck.